The moment the scissors touched the thick strands of long silky hair, a cry rang through the mansion. It wasn't the sound of pain, but of desperation. An elderly woman, frail but full of dignity, clutched at the young girl's hand. "Please, stop, don't do this, you don't understand what this means." Her voice trembled, breaking under the weight of memories too painful to speak. The young girl, confused and determined, pulled her hand away. "I'm just cutting hair. It's mine, not yours," she replied softly but firmly. She had no idea that what she thought was a simple act of freedom was about to unravel a past her boyfriend's family had kept locked away for decades. That was the exact moment when the door burst open. A tall man, dressed sharply but with eyes wide in shock, froze at the sight before him. His girlfriend holding scissors, his mother kneeling on the floor, tears streaming down her face. He felt his world tilt on its axis. That man was Daniel Carter, a young millionaire whose success story had been the talk of the city. But at that moment, none of his wealth or status mattered. All that mattered was that the two women he loved most were caught in a battle he didn't understand. Daniel Carter hadn't been born into riches. His father had left when he was a child, abandoning his mother, Margaret, to raise him alone. She had struggled, worked multiple jobs, and sacrificed every dream she had so her son could grow up with opportunities she never knew. He often said his mother was the true millionaire, rich in resilience, love, and strength, even before he earned his first fortune. And when Daniel finally made it big in the world of real estate, he swore he'd take care of her forever. Margaret's greatest pride had always been her son. But one thing remained sacred to her, her late husband's memory. While Daniel rarely spoke of his father, Margaret kept one thing untouched, a small wooden box containing a lock of her husband's hair, tied with a silk ribbon. She often said, "Hair holds memories, it carries stories you can't see." Daniel never understood the depth of that saying, but he respected it because he saw the way her hands trembled whenever she touched that box. Then came Emily. She was everything Daniel could have hoped for. Kind, warm-hearted, and full of life. Unlike the women drawn to Daniel for his wealth, Emily cared little about money. She was a hairstylist, a creative soul who believed that transformation often began with something as simple as changing one's look. When she entered Daniel's life, she brought with her a sense of freshness and freedom. But Margaret wasn't convinced. She liked Emily, but there was always tension. Margaret saw Emily's fascination with hair as something deeper than styling, almost like carelessness towards something sacred. For Margaret, hair wasn't just hair. It was memory, identity, and connection to the past. Emily, on the other hand, saw it as a canvas of self-expression, a way to move forward. The breaking point came one quiet afternoon. Daniel was away on a business trip, and Emily decided to surprise him. She thought if she changed her look, cutting her waist-length hair into something short and bold, it would not only refresh her but also surprise Daniel in a way that showed her independence. She set up a chair in his home, in front of the large mirror in the master bedroom. Margaret walked in at the exact moment Emily lifted the scissors. "No!" Margaret's cry echoed through the hallways. She rushed forward, grabbing Emily's hand. Her eyes were wide with panic. "You can't do this here!" "Please, not in this house, not in front of me." Emily was stunned. "It's just hair, Mrs. Carter. I don't understand why." Margaret's knees weakened, and she sank to the floor. "You don't understand what you're doing. My husband, Daniel's father, he asked me before he died never to let scissors touch hair in this home again. It was his last wish." Emily froze. She felt torn between respect and disbelief. She wanted to honor Margaret's feelings, but she couldn't understand why something as ordinary as a haircut could stir such pain. She whispered, "I don't mean any disrespect, but it's mine. I just wanted a change." A tear streamed down Margaret's face. She clutched Emily's dress, begging, "Please, I lost everything already. Don't take this away too." That was the scene Daniel walked into when he rushed home early. His eyes darted from his crying mother on the floor to Emily's trembling hands holding scissors. The shock hit him like lightning. "Emily, what's going on?" His voice shook. Margaret looked up at her son, her face drenched in sorrow. "She was going to cut her hair. In this house, don't you remember what I told you?" Emily turned to Daniel, desperate for him to defend her. "I wasn't trying to hurt anyone. I just wanted to do something for myself. I didn't know." Daniel stood frozen, his heart caught between two worlds. He remembered vaguely his father's last words the night he lay on his hospital bed. His father had whispered something to his mother, something about hair and memory. At the time, Daniel had been too young to grasp its meaning. But now, seeing his mother break down, it struck him. What followed was days of silence, tension filling every room in the mansion. Emily stayed quiet, her heart heavy with guilt even though she didn't believe she had done anything wrong. Margaret kept to her room, fragile and withdrawn. Daniel, caught in the middle, realized he had to uncover the truth about his father's strange request. He spent hours digging through old letters, family photographs, and finally the wooden box his mother guarded. Inside, he found not just the lock of hair, but a note written by his father. It read, "Hair carries our life. When I'm gone, let it remind you that love never dies. Promise me, never let scissors cut away what connects us. It's not superstition, it's memory. Keep it safe, and you'll never feel alone." For Margaret, that lock of hair wasn't just a keepsake, it was her lifeline. Cutting hair in the house felt like erasing the last trace of her husband. Armed with this understanding, Daniel sat both women down. "Mom, I understand why this matters to you. Emily, she wasn't trying to disrespect you. She didn't know. To her, hair is freedom. To you, it's memory. You're both right in your own way." Margaret wiped her tears looking at Emily. "I'm sorry, I should have explained before I broke down like that. It's just losing him was the hardest thing I've ever faced. That lock of hair is all I have left." Emily's eyes softened with compassion. She reached out and took Margaret's hand. "I understand now. I would never try to take that away from you. I'll never cut my hair in this house again, I promise. And maybe, if you allow me, I can help preserve it. There are special ways to frame and protect hair so it never fades. I'd like to do that for you." For the first time in days, Margaret smiled, a small, fragile smile, but one full of relief. Months later, a framed piece hung in the Carter mansion. Inside it was the lock of hair, preserved beautifully, surrounded by a photo of Margaret and her late husband. Beneath it, Emily had added a plaque with the words, "Love never dies. It only changes form." The tension between Margaret and Emily melted into something deeper, understanding. Margaret realized that Emily wasn't there to replace her or disrespect her husband's memory. Emily was there to add love, to protect and to build. And Daniel, he stood in awe of the two women who had taught him the greatest lesson of all: wealth isn't about money, but about the stories, memories, and people we protect with all our hearts. Life often throws us into conflicts where both sides are right in their own way. Sometimes it isn't about choosing sides, but about choosing understanding. Hair may seem ordinary, but to one person it's freedom, to another it's memory. Love is learning to see through each other's eyes and protecting what matters most. Friends, if this story touched your heart, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you believe memories can live in the simplest things, like a lock of hair? Share your experiences in the comments below. I read each and every one of them. And if you enjoyed this story and want more inspiring and emotional tales, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. This is Be Kind Always, reminding you that kindness and understanding can heal even the deepest wounds.